evening. Thank you all for joining us tonight. First of all, I want to say that everybody watching, we're going to be doing some major spoilers for Child's Play and the remake. So if you want to stop watching now would be a good time. Let me introduce our panel.
I can't find it.
I'm here with Teresa Berg-Irwin and Amanda Kitts. Let's start off tonight by awarding last week's participation prize.
And the winner is Anna Babcock. Congratulations, Anna.
Way to go, Anna. All right. Let's start off with a little premise of the original movie. I know that I don't know why I liked the original movie the first time I saw it. I guess because it was 1988 and I was young and stupid. At the time, everybody was doing voodoo or possession movies were coming out at that time. About the only original idea that this one had was that it was a good guy doll, a doll. But back then, Teddy Ruxpins and Furbies were a big thing that kids were wanting. So I guess that's why they used the doll. I know that whenever the CIA banned people from bringing furries to their office because they said it would compromise national security because it could record all the secret codes. I guess I don't know. It was silly then and really sounds really silly now.
Does sound pretty silly, doesn't it?
Yeah, very.
Trying to get some things going up here. All right. We got Christine Clegg came in. Hello, Christine. How
Hi,
are you
Christine.
Hi, Christine.
doing? So, was there anything that you all liked about the first one that wasn't in the second one, or? I guess not. I know that.
No,
Go ahead.
I wasn't too. I didn't like the first one at all. I thought it was kind of boring, and it didn't keep my attention. Which I never watched it when it first came out. I just recently watched it for the first time, so it really didn't grab my attention. I didn't care for it at all. But now I did like the second one, or the remake.
Right.
The remake just seemed a whole lot better to me.
What about you, Amanda? Which one did you prefer?
The original. To me, the remake, I don't know, it wasn't as scary and too electronical, kind of.
Right. I mean, I like the premise of the voodoo doll a lot better. I mean, today everybody's so worried about smart homes, and there's all kinds of movies about how the smart home and smart devices are going to take over the world. So, but I mean, who actually wants to trust the big tech companies? Because but I mean,
I
voodoo.
also prefer the original doll. I hate the doll in the remake. He's just creepy. Ugh.
Hi, Ann. How are you doing tonight? I'm glad you were able to make it. So, Christine says the doll was scarier in the first one, the whole serial killer thing. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree, Christine. It was a lot more. I don't know if it's more believable, but I mean, to me, the animatronics was a lot better than the CGI of today, because they just can't make a face correct on CGIs still yet. I mean, with dinosaurs and robots, they do a good job. Whenever they try to do a human face or a doll face. It just doesn't quite come out right.
Guess I'm on my own on being the only one that likes the remake the best.
Well, what did I like about the remake? What I really liked about the remake was they made the Andy they made Andy older, and he wasn't. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about the boy in the original because he was just a small kid. So I don't want to get into that. But making him older, in my opinion, was a smart way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, 100%.
The Christine says
He wasn't scared of Chucky. He got in there and he was proactive in trying to do something about it. As to where the other Andy, he wasn't. Well, like you said, he was younger.
well, I mean, he there was the imaginary friend. Christine says just watching little kid cuddle with him was freaky. Yeah, I mean, both of the, I mean, who in their right mind would buy either one of those dolls? I mean, the in the first one, you had the Barney looking the little good guy cartoon, and then the good guy in the commercial, and it was just they were ugly dolls, and who'd want to buy an ugly doll?
And then two, the little boy had, what was it? Was it his pajamas or was it an outfit?
That was, I'm pretty sure it was good guy pajamas.
Yeah, and he was dressed just like him, even his house shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Yeah,
creepy.
that was a little creepy.
Christine says, I agree. Andy being older in the second one had to happen to be more believable. Yep. I mean, I liked whenever Andy's mom in the second one said, "I know you're you're too old," but the kid goes, "No, I'm not," and took it anyway. And
Yeah.
of course, his phone trying to pair up with the Caslin cloud. I mean, how many people use Alexa and Alexa? Well, my Alexa thing keeps on being on me. Oh
Right.
goodness. Alexa says, "I don't know that one." Of course you don't. Oh goodness. But no, I mean, I think that the whole uh, I think that the whole the whole cast in the second one was better than the cast of the first one. I mean, the mother was a ditz in the first one, and I liked how I mean, I liked how the the best friend got thrown out of the window. I think the deaths were better in the second one, in the first one than the second one too. I think that it was more barbaric, I guess.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
Mm. So let's see here. Who anybody have a favorite character? I always said that mine second one was Andy. So
I guess my favorite character would be, I mean, in the second one, it would be Andy.
okay,
I'm not sure
Yeah,
in the first one.
Andy in the
right,
second one, but I also liked the little friend, the girl. I really liked her too.
yeah. That's one thing I'm not getting good at with names, so I'm not even going to
Yeah, me either.
try to say the names. Christine says in the second one, Andy was more prominent as a character. We didn't always know what was being said to Andy in the original. Yes, Christine, I agree with that. Does somebody want to have anything to say on that one before I do, or
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
uh, is not knowing what was being said. The 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 imaginary friend. I mean, you can only go so far with. I mean, is it an imaginary friend or is it a doll? I That didn't make too much sense on that one. So to me, I think that I think they were trying to. I don't know why back then they were trying to put littler kids in more danger, and it didn't make much sense to me. I mean, the little girl in Poltergeist, she, I mean, she was older than Andy, but not much older, and maybe it was to be more believable. I don't know, but I think having an older cast made it to where, I mean, Andy was a in the first one he was supposed to be a main character, but I think it put him more into the secondary cause than the main character.
Yeah, there. I don't think he worked out well as a main character.
But let's talk about the two actors who did the voices for Chucky. We had Brad. I don't know how to pronounce it. Brad Dor, Dor, Doris and what Dur, yep, Brad Dourif in the original, and of course Mark Hamill did the one in the remake. Which actor did you like better, Amanda?
And the remake.
How come?
I don't know.
Yeah. How
Now
about
I like the remake. I like the voice better in the remake, but I will say in the original one, he did sound more like I guess use the word like demonic. More, he sounded scarier.
more
Yeah.
sinister? Yep. I
Yeah,
mean,
more sinister. That's the right word.
the biggest problem with having Mark Hamill doing the voice of Chucky was his iconic voice is now the Joker for the animated Batman series, and he can't use. And you know how in the original Chucky would cackle, and he was just for a laugh, and Mark Hamill does a good cackle, but he couldn't use it because he uses it for his Joker persona. So I think that they might have been able to do a better casting for the Chucky because for the secondary one, but Christine says that the original for me, creepy Chucky wins over AI Chucky. I that's a good statement there. Uh, which one was better, the doll or the AI? Teresa, which one did you like better?
Okay, taking it out of the movies and just basing it on the doll itself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the original.
Right.
That doll was better, um, but I prefer the remake movie. Because like I said, it held my attention. I wasn't bored, and I really, I immensely enjoyed the movie.
Right.
So yeah, but the original doll was better, I guess.
I like the original better too. The I mean, whenever he the well before I get into that, what about you, Amanda? Which one did you like better?
The original. The remake, like I said, just creepy. Creepy.
Well, they were supposed to be creepy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be creepy. It's a horror
Yeah, but
movie.
it was like a like they tried too hard to make him creepy. Maybe I guess is what I'm trying to say, and I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't like him in the
Right,
remake.
right. I mean, the well, there's two scenes that I can think of. Whenever Chucky is flying through the air as a doll, and Chucky was jumping off of the rafters onto the boy, uh, the the doll flying just looked more real. I guess it's because it's not animated, and whenever whenever they're shooting the Chuckies in the movie and the remake, I think that the shooting was a lot done better because you were actually able to kill something that was tangible compared to something that wasn't. So I think that that one was better.
Christine says that the remake had to have something different to a traditional doll because dolls aren't such popular toys now. But I will never. Then she says I will never get over seeing that original Chucky doll.
I agree with that one. I mean,
Yes.
I think that yeah, the original lot is a whole lot better. Uh, with but, but between the how about whenever you had the relationship with the police officer in the second one and his mom against the detective in the original, which to me I think that the second one with the mama's boy in the second one was better than the first. He to me was more believable as a police officer than the detective in the first one.
Right.
Yes.
And let's see here, the mom. I don't know. Was it better giving the mom a douchebag of a boyfriend in the second one, or was it better to not have a boyfriend?
Hmm. I liked the douchebag boyfriend part of the movie. I really did. So yeah, I liked it
I mean,
better.
I don't know what his purpose was, but I mean, it
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
Well, I think the whole purpose of the boy was to give the doll a reason to get mad for taking for I mean the original the doll is trying to get his life back. In the secondary one, the doll is just trying to get his best friend back. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the boyfriend had to be in there because somebody had to be mean to Andy.
True.
True.
Uh, Christine says, yeah, probably the second police officer and the boyfriend added to it in the second, definitely. Yep. So, yeah, who was surprised that he had another family?
Oh, I was.
Mike,
I didn't see that coming at all.
Mike Giordano, he said, I feel the boyfriend was a pointless character. It was just for a cheap kill.
Well, but it was a good kill. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I did too.
I mean,
Especially when he takes it to the grandmother. Well, not the grandmother, but the police officer's mother.
Yes.
well, I mean, when watching, well, with the kids watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 and laughing all the time through it. I mean, I can remember watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre as as a lot younger, and even though I knew it was fake and it was a little I didn't laugh like the kids in the second one were doing.
Oh, me
So,
either.
I mean, now watching it, you can see how stupid it is. But I mean, with him ripping the boys the the boyfriend's face off and giving it to Andy, I did not see that one coming. But I did see him having a family. I saw that part of it. But
I was very
I
surprised
felt like that
he had a
came out of
family.
nowhere.
Yeah, I just thought he was a douchebag that come around whenever he wanted to.
Yeah, I felt like that just came out of nowhere. I thought I'd missed something actually, but I know I didn't because I watched it again today.
Mike says you've seen he was married from a mile away. Well, I guess the women want to be more romantic. I don't know. Nah, I don't think that's it. Is it?
Nah, forget
No.
romance.
There was no romance with that boyfriend. He was just a big douche, and you can't say anything good about him. So
No, there wasn't anything good at all about him. He was just using the mama.
That's all.
yep. So let's see.
And I liked her too. I liked her a lot better over the first mother.
Why is
Me
that?
too.
Why is that?
And because she just seemed, I mean, I guess maybe she was just a little bit younger because she was a little bit younger because she did say she was 16 when she had him or got pregnant
Right.
with him one. But I don't know. She was just the other mother was uptight, I guess. Is that right? Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, she
Yeah.
acted too grown. Like
Yeah,
Mike said, the original mom just acted too grown.
I was going to
And
say too old.
she
but that
interacted
works.
well with Andy. The second one did.
And let's see here. I'm answering Ann here. Ann, you can use this chat, or you can go into the chat for the actual video that we're taping and type in. I'll answer from, or one of us will answer from either one. So,
I still freak out over the Jaws movies, Christine, and I think I always will.
what's that?
Christine says those movies look cheap and cheesy now, like the original Jaws, but I still freak out, and I didn't laugh at them then. But I was telling her that I still freak out when I watch Jaws.
Well, I've never seen Jaws. That's something
You've
that
never watched Jaws?
never saw it. Yep. That's something I was just not really ever into. So, nope, never seen Jaws.
I hadn't up to probably about a couple of years ago.
Oh, I remember when I was a kid. I watched it like when I guess it was several years after it first came out, but I watched it and I didn't even want to get in the lake. I thought there was a shark in there. I remember once we saw a ski. Somebody had lost a ski and it was floating. And you know how it's got the little where you put your foot in. It was
Right.
floating above the water and it looked like a fin. You know, his dorsal fin. It was. I thought, well, there's a shark in the lake.
Oh my goodness, I would have freaked out too.
I noticed that in the original one, the Charles Lee Ray, he was obsessed with dolls. If you noticed, I don't know if you did, but whenever they were going through his house, the mom and the cop were going through his house. There was dolls all over the place. I didn't know if anybody else.
Why was he obsessed?
Huh?
Why was he obsessed with dolls?
Because he had dolls just hang, just.
I mean,
Just
no. I mean, like, was there ever a reason revealed why he was like obsessed with dolls?
Well, Mike says he was into voodoo, so maybe.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Wonder if it has. That's what I was getting at. If it had to do with that, maybe.
Well, I know, and Mike just said voodoo dolls, but you know, they 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 showed the voodoo doll of the voodoo master, and the dolls that were in his place were more plastic coated things. It wasn't the voodoo type dolls, but I mean that could be it too. So Mike says that was his mentor. Yep, and the mentor always gets killed off in the end usually. Let's see.
Are y'all talking about the guy that he went and visited there? That was big tall guy that was in the movie in the original.
Well, in the original, there was the one that he blew up with the
That's what the Candyman.
in the he blew up one guy, which didn't make any sense to me. That was a dilapidated house that they were in. He was sleeping in his coat, so there was no heat, but yet there's no heat, no electricity, but yet there's gas to the stove. Well,
Right.
I got tickled because I had the same thought when I asked you about that guy, and Mike said, "Wasn't that the Candyman?" I had the same thought. I thought it was the Candyman too. He reminded me of a big time of the Candyman.
Well, no, it wasn't the Candyman because the Candyman was in the voodoo. The Candyman, well, the
But
Candyman
he sure looked like him.
but uh, that's a whole different TV show.
Yeah, we got a remake coming out. What, in July?
Yep. Uh, Mike, Christine told Mike that I lived near the ocean and was put off swimming for a while. I guess they're still talking about about Jaws and not wanting to go swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, Mike has said earlier. He said he was scared of the beach because of Jaws. He legit stayed out of the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't blame you. I would have too.
we just had a lake where I was growing up, so I didn't have to worry about sharks. Just big catfish coming and sucking up your arm.
Yeah, that's another thing. I had only a lake too, but my dad caught those big catfish too. So I got to see those. I mean, some big catfish came out of the water. But I still thought that there's a snake or a jaws or a shark in the water, whether it was a lake or an ocean.
Well, I don't know if our friends
That active imagination.
know what noodling is. So whenever you stick your arm down a hole to catch a fish.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Let's see here. And Christine, you are fine for being off topic on Jaws. I think we started down that rabbit hole. That's our fault.
Yeah.
Mike says a different actor who played the Candyman, Mandela effect. Well,
the Mandela effect.
Yep. Mandela effect. So we're about out of time here. Let's so for my suggestion, I would say watch the original over the remake. It's just more believable for me, and it can be it just sounds more believable than the secondary one. What about you, Amanda?
Oh yeah, I would say not the remake, the original. It's more believable.
Okay. Mike says I feel that Jaws and Child's Play are like distant cousins. I think they're all distant cousins. What about you, Teresa? Which one did you like the best?
Well, I like the remake the best, and I would suggest if you're anything like me, it's hard for me to sit down and like stay on, like be keep my attention on it. I can be distracted very easily, and so if you get distracted easily, the original is not for you. It didn't hold my attention at all. I was over it in the first 10 minutes, but the remake had me from the start till the end.
Right. Uh, Somebody was typing and then they stopped. I want to give everybody a chance to say what they think. Mike says the original is more believable than the remake until your Roomba is attacking your feet. Uh, uh,
I just got it.
Christine says I would vote for the original. You definitely have to watch it first anyway. It will always be the scarier one. Never look at it all the same again. I I agree with everybody on what they've said. And Teresa, I think that you're right. If you have a short attention span, you can keep up with the second one easier than you can with the first one because there's less dialogue and more visual. And if you're like me, you're in the other room for half of the movie, so you can keep up with the secondary one. But for for being scary, I think the original was the scariest one. Mike says original more iconic, but the remake is more entertaining. Christine says I have a short attention span too. Teresa Bird Irwin. All right. Well, I that's everything I have for tonight. Does anybody have anything they want to say about the movies?
I'm good.
No, I'm good. I think we covered it. Well, I think
All
Joe
right.
covered it.
Well, I don't know if I did much, but with you two here, it's a lot more enjoyable than me just rambling on. So, with that,
Yeah, we did a good job.
with that,
Pat yourself on the back.
I want to say good night. Thank you all for joining. Our next week episode is we're going to be doing some more plot holes. I think we're going to we got a list of well lot more than 10, but we're going to pick our favorite 10, and we'll go through the number 6 through 10. And if any of you have a plot hole that you want to get answered, maybe we can help each other out and get some answers to finish out the plot holes before the next season starts out. Thanks for coming, Christine, Mike, and Washki. I don't know. Yep. Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you, Teresa and Amanda. It's been another good night.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks,
Good night,
Mike.
everyone.
Amanda. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy.